Muted here. So you can just kind of get cozy, find some space on your mat, and I am really happy to be here. So happy Wednesday, good morning, and always move how you choose to move. You know, if your body is feeling like you want to move a little slower or you want to stay at a lower kind of a layer, then definitely do that. But if you're wanting to kind of power through certain things, I don't know, places to add on will kind of naturally come. So you always know when you do your own thing, do what you love. And I think with that, we will begin standing this morning. So you can go ahead and stand. You can come to the center of your mat. Let me be sure. Yeah, you can come to the center of your mat. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. Let your eyes close, or at least let your gaze get soft. Roll your shoulders back and down a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Eventually you'll get that kind of sensation. Let the palms face forward. Breathing in and out through your nose here, you'll start to feel the legs engage from right where we are in this standing position. Take an inhale, reach your arms out and up, nice big circle up. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knees here and start to fold. Go all the way down. Nice big forward fold. When you arrive, lift halfway. You'll feel your belly lift just a little bit. Hands can come to the thighs. Exhale, big fold, and let the knees stay bent. It's pretty early. Twice more as we breathe in. We'll lift halfway, just starting to connect. Exhale, fold. Breathe in to lift half, feel the length in the spine. Exhale, big fold. You can start to straighten the legs little by little. Inhale, let's circle the arms out and up as we come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands will come right down through the midline of the body. Right down by the sides. You'll roll the shoulders back just one time. Breathe in, reach out and up. Breathe out to fold all the way down we go. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, big fold a little deeper here. Inhale, this cycle will lift halfway and bring your left hand down right in front of your face, right to the middle of the mat. Excuse me, sorry. As that right hand comes down right to the middle of the mat, take an inhale and reach your left arm up. You'll start to open. Exhale, your left hand will come down. You can be on fingertips. Left knee will bend and your right arm will rise. As you breathe out, the right arm lowers. You're breathing in here and then twisting open on the exhale. Pretty slow movement. We'll go left hand down, right arm rising. You're getting a little more fluid, so you could close your eyes. One more time, each side. You're feeling the spine twist. Exhale. It's the knee bending as the left hand lowers. Reach your right arm open. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale to lift halfway. Hands can always support on the shins. Take an exhale, nice big fold, hands down the calf. Breathe in. We reach the arms out and up. Big open circle. Exhale, pause the hands at that vision center. Pause your hands at the heart center. Hands come down by your sides. You can do that shoulder roll. I'll do my best to guide you with my voice so your eyes can stay heavy. Start to walk to the front of your mat. You can flicker your eyes open here. You'll face your feet to whatever your front is. Let the feet be right under the hips here. Take an inhale. Sweep your arms out and up. Big circle up. Exhale. Start to fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Breathe in to lift halfway. Breathe out to bring both hands down, and you'll step one foot back and then the other. You're in this high plank pose. You feel the belly start to lift. You feel the thighs lift. Take an exhale. We'll lower our right knee down, right to the middle of the mat. Roll onto the outside edge of the left foot. Eventually, you'll try to press through the left foot. Your left arm will sweep back to the back, up and overhead. Let's do this twice more. Arm just circling back, up and overhead. Today, really one more time, the yoga is in the movement. Like, oh, does it feel good in the rib cage? Let your hand come down. Press through your right foot. We're in that high plank. Bring your left knee down to the middle, so you'll be turning away from your device, right? Roll onto the outside edge of that right foot. Right arm sweeps back, up, and overhead. We'll do this sweeping motion with the arm 2 more times. You do want to feel the lift of your hips. Let the gaze be up or down. This is your choice. Last big circle. Right hand down to the mat. Press through your left foot. You're in high plank. We'll lower both knees down. Find child's pose. It's deserved here to take a rest. You can roll your forehead around on the mat, or you can do that stacking of your 2 fists. This will give your neck a little bit of space if you're feeling tight this morning. So keep breathing 2 or 3 breaths in your child's pose. The intention for your day, maybe it is just that moving in a way that feels good, right? And take an exhale, start to gaze forward. You'll walk or maybe crawl the hands forward if they're not. Lift your head. You'll start to shift forward. Curl your toes under. Find your first downward facing dog, but let your knees bend a lot. Feel some buoyancy, some lift in the hips. Take an inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes, straightening the legs. Bend the right knee. Your left heel will start to relax. It's okay if it doesn't touch the mat. Inhale, we're on tippy toes. And exhale, we're changing side. It's the left knee that bends. The in-breath lifts. The exhale, bend your right knee. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, bend your left knee. Do this a few more times and gaze to your own thighs. If you can keep the back of the neck really long, we'll shift the weight, giving that kind of bone stacking so you don't feel like you're holding your head. One more big inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes. Take an exhale and just shift the hands all the way back towards the feet. Just crawl the hands back. Inhale to lift halfway. Hands can always support on your shins here. Take an exhale, big fold as your hands just travel down the backs of your legs. Inhale to lift halfway, gaze right over the edge here, letting your neck be really long. Take an exhale as you fold, hands down the calf. Inhale, last halfway lift. Exhale, last big fold here. Inhale to come all the way up to standing, reaching, rising the arms, big circle of energy outward, upward, and then right into the center line, the vision channel. Right down through the heart center channel. Right down to the sides with your hands. Take an in-breath, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, we fold all the way down we go. You can start to straighten your legs over time, but this is your choice. Inhale to lift halfway. Take an exhale, hands will start to come down. You can slide or maybe crawl the hands forward. You'll shift into a plank pose. If you're feeling like, it's early and I'm tired, then you can bring the knees down. You'll still have the belly engaged. The power is really in how deep am I breathing. Bring your right knee down to the middle of the mat. You'll roll onto the left side of that left foot. You'll start to lift the hips. Left arm makes just one big circle. Next time the arm circles all the way back, up, and over. Pause with that arm reaching, left arm reaching forward. Lift the hips a little more. If you really want to challenge the balance, you can start to lift your top leg a little higher. Yeah, so you're stacking that bone on bone. This is what helps us from falling. Lower your left leg down, lower your left hand down, roll into your high plank. Left knee to the middle of the mat. Roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. Hips lift as your right arm just makes this one big circle. You can feel the shoulder open. Reach your right arm forward. It's all the way up and over your head. If you want more, you press into that left top foot and then reach your right leg just straight back to the back wall. Exhale, your foot slowly comes down. Next breath out, your hand slowly comes down. Find your high plank pose. You feel the belly lift. Take an exhale for downward facing dog. Start to let your feet be hip distance here. You can have a bend in the knees, a little bend or a big bend. It doesn't matter if it feels good. Take an inhale now to gaze forward. Let's bend the knees a lot. If you love to hop, you can hop, but we'll just step the left foot forward, step the right foot forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Feel your belly engage. Exhale, big fold. It's all the way down we go. Inhale, big circle out and up with the arms, opening our chest. We'll add on here. Take an exhale. Bring your hands down to the low back. You can bend your knees. As you breathe in, lift your chest. You're peeling your elbows open more to open your chest. Gaze right up to the ceiling. Exhale is a big fold. All the way down we go. You'll get that ha. Are we still breathing here? Inhale to lift halfway. Take an exhale as your hands come all the way down to the top of your mat. You'll step your right foot back, your left foot to meet it. This is your high plank. Feel the belly lift, feel the thighs lift. There's an engagement, kind of that fire happening. Take an exhale, downward facing dog. Your hips go high. Inhale here and exhale here. Bring your big toes together. Take an inhale as you reach your right leg really slowly. Your right leg rises up and back. Exhale, coil your knee in towards the nose and just hover. I'll do it with you, I promise. Reach your right leg long on the in breath. Exhale, you're going across the body on the out breath. See if we can touch the elbow. Inhale, reach your leg long. Exhale, we're going same side. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale, reach your right leg long. This time as we exhale, step your foot all the way between your hands. Nice work. You're in a runner's lunge. Take an in breath to reach the arms up. The gaze will typically follow the hands. This will help us in our balance. Press through your back left leg. The straight leg is really working. Take an exhale as two hands lower down to the mat. Let's crawl around to the long side of the mat. Your right toes will turn with you. Take an in breath to lift just halfway. Take an out breath to fold a little deeper. Soften your jaw, soften your head. In breath, lift half. Out breath, walk around to the front of your mat. You have these right toes forward. Spin your back left heel flat this time so that we've got an angle of the toes, like 45 degrees or so. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. We're rising up for this warrior one. So the hips are facing the front of your mat. You can widen your stance if it helps you sit a little deeper. Take an exhale. The reaching is really the extension. Breathe out as two hands lower down. You'll turn onto those left toes. You'll plant your hands. Right foot flies back. Take that hover in a plank. Right foot comes onto the mat. Lift into your downward facing dog. You feel this sensation of ha, right? The relative rest now that we're working. Bring your big toes together. Left leg, really slow with control, go straight up and back. Exhale, knee coils in. It's that ha of the breath. Inhale, reach your foot back. Exhale, we're going opposite side. Knee to opposite left elbow, right elbow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going same side. See if you can tap the elbow with the knee. Inhale, reach your left leg really long. Exhale, this time step your foot forward all the way through the hands. As you inhale, you rise up. The arms start to sweep up. Soften in the shoulders. You'll find the breath long here will be easier to balance, I promise. Take an exhale as your hands lower down to the mat. Let's crawl around to the long side of the mat this time. I know your booty will be forward, so no problem. Just crawl around to the long side. Take an inhale to lift halfway. Take an exhale to fold a little deeper. Inhale, lift halfway. Take an exhale, crawl right back around to the front of the mat. You'll turn your left toes forward, spin your right heel flat. The in-breath rises us. That's that extension as we lift our chest. We rise our arms up. Take an exhale. See if you can sit a little deeper in that front leg. The long leg, the right leg is the one that's really working here. Exhale, 2 hands lower down to the mat. Come onto the back toes. You'll fly this left foot back. See if you want to hover the foot. This is just an add-on, just an option. Bring your toes down to the mat. Exhale for your downward facing dog. See the neck start to release as you shake your head from side to side. 3 to 5 breaths in down dog if that feels that restfulness. Or you can bring your knees down and take 2 breaths or so in child's pose. So don't get too cozy if you're in child's pose because we will be moving again. But notice where the breath goes, this kind of ebb and flow of steadiness and ease. If you're in child's pose, start to lift your head on a breath out. We'll lift the hips up and back. We'll meet the fronts in downward facing dog. Inhale to bring your big toes together. This right leg rises up and back. Let's exhale, go knee towards the midline, towards the nose. Inhale, right leg long. Exhale, we're going opposite side to left elbow. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, we're going same side. See if you can hover. Inhale, leg really reaches, extends. Exhale, step your foot forward all the way between the hands. As we breathe in, we rise up. Feel the arms sweep up. Exhale, bring 2 hands down to the mat. Start to turn onto your back left foot. So we're going right into the warrior this time. As you breathe in, you reach the arms up. Your hips are facing forward if you can, really pressing through your long left leg. Take an exhale. You'll tilt forward just a little bit and sweep the arms back. You'd like to keep the belly lifted. Take an in breath. Reach your arms up. Take an out breath, sweep your arms back. For our rules of 3, let's try one more time, that big reaching up. And that exhale as the hands sweep back. Inhale, last big reaching. Exhale, release both hands down to the mat, turn onto your left toes. You'll sweep your right foot back, take a pause as it stays lifted. Exhale, lower it here. This will be your choice. You'll either go right knee down like we've done before, or you can keep the right knee lifted and roll onto the right side of the right foot. The left arm will sweep back, up, and overhead just one time, or place the arm down and do that same thing. So it's either left knee down or not. We're rolling onto the left side of the left foot. We're reaching that top right arm back, up, overhead. Find that high plank pose. Exhale for downward facing dog. Let the mind let all of that go. It's good to be challenged here, but it's good to breathe it away. Bring your big toes together. Left leg, vama, is left in our Sanskrit. Take an inhale, left leg will round. Exhale, we're going right through the midline, knee towards nose. Inhale, sweep back. Exhale, we're going across the body, knee towards right elbow. Inhale, reach really long. Exhale, we're going same side. See if you can hover on this left elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release your foot right down between the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, soften somewhere in your shape. Exhaling as the hands come down to the mat. Turn the arm to that right heel now. Spin it flat. Take an inhale to reach the arms up. This is that warrior one. To me, this is the most challenging shape for my hips to really square forward. So we're doing just the best that we can with the engagement. Less about how it looks, more about, am I feeling engaged? Exhale, sweep the hands back. See if you can keep your belly lifted. Inhale, lift the arms up. See if you can keep the big bend in your left knee. Exhale, sweeping the hands back. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, two hands sweep back behind you. Big breath in. You reach both arms up, lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Turn onto your back toes. Your left leg scoots back. See if you want to hover it. And then press both feet into the mat. High plank pose. Feel the energy from the earth, right? We're grounding even though we're challenged. And then your choice. It's either right knee down and rolling arm to the side as you reach your arm back up and over, or you're pressing through the right foot. You'll do the same thing. So left hand comes down. Press through both knees. And your choice, high or low, whatever you need. If you need to catch your breath, maybe you go the little bit of the lower, that's kind of sweeter option. Press through both knees. Exhale, downward facing. Find 5 deep, solid breaths here. Is there somewhere I can soften my jaw? Is there somewhere I can let a little love in, right? That you can feel it when the body relaxes. Inhale, gaze towards the hands. Bend the knees a lot. If you love the hops, again, you can hop. But if you're stepping, we'll just step left, step right foot forward. Take an inhale to lift halfway. I can always support the hands on the shin. Exhale, big fold, hands down the leg. Soften your head. Inhale to reach your arms out and upward, coming all the way up to standing big circle. Exhale, bend your knees to bring your hands down to your low back. Inhale to lift your chest and lean back. Exhale, fold all the way down you go. Let the hands just go down the backs of the legs. Inhale to lift halfway. Take an exhale as you bring your hands down to the front of the mat. You step your feet back. Find your high plank pose. Feel the belly lift. If you're like, whoo, I'm in the fire, then bring the knees down and reach the arms forward. This is anahata, or this is puppy pose. This is one of my favorite shapes. But if you're hanging out here, you're in plank pose, and you're like, no, I'm okay, and I'm liking it, it's going well, then take an exhale. Bend the elbows just halfway, Take an inhale as you roll over the toes, press through straight arms, straight legs. This is your upward facing dog. Pause here. Roll your head over to the left shoulder. Chin goes down and roll your head over to the right shoulder. Chin goes down, lift your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Friends, in anahata, you can meet us in down dog whenever you want. Bring your big toes together. Right leg will rise up and back. Let's take an exhale as we bring the knee in towards the nose. Take an inhale as we reach the foot long. Exhale, let's go opposite elbow. So right knee to left elbow, pause, and then send your foot all the way through. As you exhale, you'll start to lift your left hand and you'll roll onto the left side of the left foot. Reach this left arm up. This fallen star, the gaze will go up if you can. And it might sound challenging, but we have a lot of our body actually on the ground. So press through the right hand. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right leg rises up and back. It's that 3-legged dog. Exhale, go same side, knee to elbow on the right side. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, send your foot forward. Let it go all the way through the hands. Beautiful runner's lunge. Take an inhale to reach the arms up. It's that crescent shape. Soften in the shoulders as you sit a little deeper. I'll go deep with you. Take an exhale. Let your hands go down to the mat. Turn onto the left heel, that spinning of the foot flat. You feel the engagement. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Here's your warrior one. Exhale, sweep the hands back and pause. Circle or find this bind behind you, two hands coming together, clasping. Take an inhale, pull your hands back and lift your chest. This should feel good at this point. Take an exhale, fold. You melt your heart over that right knee. And if you can, the arms will stay lengthened. They'll reach up and over. Exhale, release that bind, reach two arms up. I know it's power in the right leg. You think that, woo-hoo. Exhale, two hands will come down. Slowly turn onto the back toes. Bring your both hands flat onto the mat. Right foot will fly up and back. Open the hip this time. You'll bend your knee. Let your right hip open, but keep some weight in the right shoulder. One big hip circle. Bring your knee forward towards the nose. Sweep out and around. Maybe two big hip circles. One big forward, out, around. And then exhale. Reach your right leg really long. Replace your right foot onto the mat. So you can shimmy the feet however you need so you can find a restful down dog. Bring your big toes together here. On an in-breath, it's that left foot straight up and back, really slow. Exhale, knee comes in towards the nose. That inhale, three-legged. Exhale, we're going opposite side. Take a pause. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, we're going same side. Knee to elbow on the left. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, opposite side. We're going left knee, right elbow. Send your foot through. You spin onto that back right foot. Right hand rises up. This is your fallen star. Exhale as your hand comes down. Reach your left leg up really, really high. Exhale, step it forward all the way through. Find your lunge, nice. Take an inhale to sweep the arms up. Let the gaze be forward. Let the heart be lifted. Exhale, two hands lower down. Nice. Spin the back heel flat. Turn that leg on. Take an inhale as you reach the arms up. Exhale, just one time. Sweep your two hands back. See if your chest can stay lifted. Clasp the bind. Inhale, lift your heart. Really reach back. Exhale, melt forward. Your heart's coming to the inside of your left leg here. Relax your neck. Mind stuff gets to drift away for just a little longer. Inhale, release the bind, reach up. We got this. I know the leg's on fire. Exhale, two hands slowly lower down. Turn onto your back toes. Your left foot slides back. Lower your left foot to the mat. You're in plank. So you decide high or low. You're rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot, sweeping the left arm back, up, overhead. You're doing the same thing on the other side, knee down or not. Exhale, two hands down. You decide vinyasa or not. So that's the bending of the elbows halfway. Inhale for the urdhva. That's just upward. Exhale for the adho. Sigh if you need a sigh. It's that ha of relief in the neck. You can always remain in down dog or bring the knees down. Find anahata. If the knees want to come down, walk the hands forward. Soften your forehead. You would like it to touch the mat. It'll just feel nicer if you can rest the tongue and the jaw. You're on fingertips if you're in puppy pose. Inhale, let's lift our chest. Take an exhale, meet your friends in down dog. We'll all be there for a breath or two. Let your feet be hip distance here. Take an inhale to gaze forward. It's that step walker now. Maybe if you're feeling a little warm, I know I'm heated, then you'll bend the knees and maybe hop the feet forward. Lift halfway when you arrive. Always you can support with the hands. Take an exhale, big fold. That down we go. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Nice big circle up. Exhale, hands come down through the midline. Pause at your heart. Pause, hands down by the sides. In breath, circle out and up. Out breath, big fold, down we go. Inhale to lift halfway. Take an exhale, one more big fold. See if you can straighten the legs little by little. Inhale, big circle, one more, reaching and rising. Feel the energy kind of bubbling up. Exhale, bend your knees a lot. Hands come down to the low back. As you inhale, you lift your chest. This is that nice open back bending. Take your time going in, right? The depth is less important than the breath. Can I hear myself in my own ears, in my own brain, right? Exhale, fold, hands down the backs of our legs, all the way down the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Take an exhale as your hands come down to the mat. You'll step one foot back and then the other. Take a pause in your high plank pose. Feel the belly engage. Take an exhale, downward facing dog. Let's go through those same shapes. We'll go breath to movement. So if you can close your eyes, if you want to close your eyes, I'll talk you through it so you can kind of dance your way in. Bring your big toes together. It's the right leg that rises up and back. As we exhale, we're going knee towards the nose. Take an inhale to reach our right leg long. Let's go same side, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach it long. Cross the body, right knee, left elbow, send your foot through. Inhale to reach your arm up. You're lifting the hips. Exhale, lower your left hand. Right leg goes up and back. This is three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot will step all the way forward through the hands. The in-breath is the driver. That's the exalting of the arms reaching. Exhale, two hands lower down. Just spin that left heel flat. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sweep your two hands back. You're clasping for your bind. Inhale, lift your heart, chest shining. Exhale, fold. We feel that humbling of, whew, I might need to catch my breath. Inhale, release the bind, reach the arms up. We got this. Exhale, two hands lower down. We come onto the back left toes, right foot flies back. Take a pause. Exhale, high plank. Are you hovering in this conditioning shape? Challenging option, yes. Or are you exhale, bending the elbows down halfway? Inhale, press through the arms and legs. Thighs are lifted off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. One big full breath to breathe in a release and out that kind of suddenly grateful for down dog. Big toes come together. Left foot straight up and back. Lifting here. We'll go exhale, knee to nose, knee to the midline. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, go same side. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, opposite as we go. Exhale to the right elbow. Send your foot all the way through. You're reaching up for the fallen star if you're going there. Exhale, right hand down. Left foot rises up and back. Exhale, foot comes all the way through the hand. Nice runner's lunge. Take an in breath to sweep your arms up. Take an out breath to release, two hands down. Spin onto that back right foot. Inhale, arms are reaching. This is warrior. This is Vita. It is not easy. Exhale, hands sweep back. Clasp that bind. Lift your chest as you inhale. You feel that rising. Exhale, release into the fold. In our minds, our arms are sweeping up and over. They might not ever make it over your head. It's just in our mind. Release the hands. Reach the arms up. Big breath in. Release two hands down. Turn onto the right toes. Step your left foot back. Maybe a little hover. Pause with 2 feet on the ground. If you're choosing plank, stay here. If you're choosing chaturanga, lower halfway. The upward facing, this is one of maybe last times for vinyasa. Don't worry. If you're like, I don't want to do them anymore, you definitely don't have to. You can stay in child's pose if you love. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Shift forward into plank pose. Bring both knees down onto the mat. Walk 2 hands forward for that puppy pose, that anahata, heart melting. Take an inhale as you roll the forehead from side to side. Next breath in, start to gaze forward, lift your head. Next breath out, bring your forearms down to the mat. Set yourself up where the forearms are like a number 11. We really want the elbows to be pulling in towards each other. Take an exhale, so as you find this number 11, you'll press through one foot, you'll press through the other foot. We're now in this low forearm plank. I know in your mind, it seems like it would be easier to look back, but we'd like to keep the gaze to the thumbs. This keeps the shoulders on, this keeps the belly on, this keeps the attention forward, right? Take an exhale, start to walk the toes closer in towards the elbows. Gaze to the thumbs. You're in this dolphin plank. You're really pressing through the forearm. Exhale, walk the feet back out. I know this isn't easy. I promise we'll only do this one time. Exhale, lower the hips down. Find that sensation as you uncurl the toes. Release your head all the way down to the mat. The hands can just become a pillow. If you love pranam, your hands can press in front of each other, or in front of your forehead, hands pressing together. Lift your knees or lift your feet, bending the knees, and just wiggle the hips from side to side. Feet dropping over to one side and the other, releasing your low back. Release your feet down onto the mat. Separate your feet so that they're probably mat distance a little bit wider than your hips. Take an inhale, start to lift your chest and bring your hands back and wide. They're going to be off of your mat about shoulder distance, but they're kind of wide apart. Take an inhale to start to lift your chest. You don't have to lift crazy high, but take an exhale, dip that right shoulder in. You'll gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, left shoulder dips in. Inhale, lift. So only go as high and as low as you love. The more you press your toes into the mat, the kinder this will be to your low back. So if you do have low back stuff going on and you're like, whew, this is kind of a lot, then stay really low and just sway from side to side. The idea is really that we're loosening the shoulders. We want to be really soft, really kind to the low back, to the lumbar. All right, take one more big inhale. Wherever you are, we'll get on the same breath. We'll go right shoulder in. Inhale to lift. Left shoulder dips in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Let your head just kind of melt towards the mat. Hands come under the shoulders. Take an exhale. Press up and back into a child's pose. If you'd like to bring your hands behind you, you can just give a little tapping or a little pounding to the low back. Giving a little love here after some back bending. Hands will reach forward. Take an inhale, start to gaze forward. You'll ride the exhale breath, that wave to down dog. Curl your toes. You'll lift the hips high, up and back. Soften your head. Just give that wiggle, that waggle, shaking the neck out. Bring the big toes together. Take an in-breath to reach your right leg up and back. We'll go a little different pathway this time. So take an exhale, step your foot forward to the outside of the hands. So your right foot is toward the corner, the right corner of your mat. You might be up on the fingertips. Take an exhale, lower your back knee down, that ha. You can uncurl the toes here. You can lower down if you have a lot of space. For me, I'm going to tighten the hip flexor. So forearms is not super accessible to me, but if you can lower down a little or a lot. You can also reach the arms forward and soften your neck. This you'll definitely feel in the right hip, but see if the head can relax. Inhale, start to lift your chest, walk your hands back under the shoulders. Take an exhale as you shift into this half Hanuman. So the hands will come back under the shoulders. You can let the hands stay to the inside of the foot. This will be soft half Hanuman. Exhale, rebend your front knee. You get the nice ha. Two hands will lower down. Curl your back toes under. Lift your knee. As you sweep this right foot up and back, take one big hip circle. We'll get it on the other side. So exhale, knee comes in towards the nose. It takes that big circle around. On this exhale, send your knee all the way forward towards the right wrist and send the ankle somewhere over towards the left wrist. We're finding a king pigeon pose now. So gaze forward, the hip will open slowly. Gaze forward so you can be nice to the shoulders. Pull the hands back beside you. This will lift the chest forward. Take an exhale as you start to fold. See if you can keep the hands where they are. We're going to come back up. Take an inhale, start to lift. So just ride the breath wave. Take an exhale to fold. The brain will get involved. It's fine. It's what we pay it for. We're lifting up one more time, but we're not worrying about what the brain is saying. If it's saying, oh, this is a weird way in, I don't know how to do this or something, go one more time in that big wave cycle. Just let the brain do its thing. Lift your chest, exhale, fold, and now do what you want to do. So bring your hands in front of you. You can melt your heart a little more. I like the stacking of fists if you feel like you don't have enough space to bring your forehead all the way down. And stack one fist on top of the other. Close your eyes. Feeling the pressure in the vision center can be really nice. What's that deeper knowing, right? What's that higher knowledge trying to tell us when we're quiet for just 3 breaths? Inhale, really slowly start to lift your chest. You'll walk your hands back under your shoulders. You can come out of this in a 3-legged dog and do that nice big hip circle if you love. You can even find wild thing if you love that. If you need a little bit of the softer side this morning, then as you press through your hands, just lift up and bring your left knee forward. Then you can kind of unwind and this right knee will circle around. Yeah, so you can do this like a tabletop, or you can do this like a 3-legged dog, whatever support level you need. Go one more big circle, take one in the opposite direction if you're in table. And then we'll meet in down dog. So knees will come down. You can scoot the hands a little more forward. You'll find down dog on an out breath. You'll bring your big toes together. Soften in the neck, soften in the shoulders. Lift your left leg up and back. Let's take a big hip circle. We haven't really opened this one quite the same. So bend the knee, open the hip. And if you want 2 big hip circles, the knee comes forward towards the nose, out and around. So you can do this 2 times if you love. It goes forward, out, around. This next time you might just reach your leg up and back. So really sweep it up and back. And now step forward with the left leg to the outside of the left hand. That big open hip step. The foot is to the edge of the mat. Shoulders are to the inside. As you exhale, you'll bring your right knee down. Soften the foot. Uncurl the toes. If you make a furrow, then soften in the forehead. If you are coming down on the forearms, you can start to see how that feels. Both hips will not be the same. It takes time to open the fronts of the legs, the hip flexors. I know we're exploring many new things, many new old things while we're kind of quarantining alone together. So if you are working out more or running more, I know you, I know if you're out there really giving the love to the legs, then we have to stretch kind of slowly. We're asking the hips really nicely. Is this okay? So plant your hands down. You'll curl your back toes under, lift your knee here. Your left leg will start to fly up and back. Nice big sweeping up and back. You can do one big circle if you love. And now send your leg through for the king pigeon pose. So left knee somewhere towards the wrist, left ankle somewhere behind the right wrist. You'll uncurl the right toe. See if you can make sure your leg is really long, really straight. And then bring the arms right under the shoulders. You'll feel a pretty deep back bend, but this is energizing for the heart. This is good for our emotional body to say, I'm going to lead with my chest. Exhale, you'll start to fold, start to melt your forehead. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, big fold, just riding the breath wave. Inhale, that pull back, that lifting up. Exhale, that crashing over, that pouring of the breath wave. Inhale, big breath. Let's go one more nice big melting heart forward. Take an inhale to lift your chest. You can keep your eyes closed. And this time come all the way down. Walk the hands forward. Forehead down to something. So whether hands or whether mat. Left hip opening slowly and softly. 3 deep breaths here. Take an inhale as you start to lift your head. You'll walk the hands back, 3-legged dog if you love, or you'll just then put some weight in the right knee and just scoot it forward. You'll scoot that left leg back. You can shimmy the hands so they're under the shoulders and take some nice big hip circles with your left hip. Take at least 3 circles in one direction. You'll maybe make a pause and then circle in the other direction. If you're in down dog doing the 3-legged and you say, oh, I love wild thing or something like that, get crazy. You can do whatever you want. Bring your knee down if you're with me. Scoot the hands a little bit forward. Meeting in down dog. Let the feet be hip distance here. Let your head feel heavy. This will help the neck decompress. Inhale, start to gaze forward. Take a big exhale. Just take this right foot. You don't have to lift it, but just step this right foot forward. When you get there, crawl around to the long side of the mat so that we can face each other. Bring the toes in just a little bit. They'll pigeon toe towards each other. And take an exhale, nice big fold. Let your head relax. Take an inhale, bend your knees a little bit. Sweep the arms out and up. You'll come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands down to your hips. Turn your toes out. Your heels will turn in and start to sit down a little bit low. Yeah, you'll find this nice deep goddess squatting. So as you inhale, you can lift up a little bit. Notice if your stance feels really wide or it feels too short, you can shimmy your feet. So don't worry about if you need to move around, and then you'll sit deeper. You can feel this a lot in the hips. You can also feel probably most of the thigh, most of the quad is on fire. So I'm with you. I promise I can feel it too. But bring the thumbs, maybe they're facing forward. And turn that right shoulder in. Just gaze up, maybe to the seam, the ceiling and the wall, the corner of the room. And take an inhale, come forward. Yeah. Exhale, dip into the other way. Hopefully your shoulders are enjoying this. And inhale, lift, and we'll turn, twisting the spine. Inhale, lift a little. Exhale, turn, twisting the spine. Take an inhale, we're going right shoulder forward. Inhale, lift a little, left shoulder forward. Take an inhale, let's lift through center. Take an exhale, you'll fold and just start to turn the toes as you fold. Nice big fluid movement to straight legs. Inhale, lift halfway. If you want something different with the hands, here's your time to do it. So maybe hands down towards the ankles. If you have a lot of space, you can go hands to big toes. If you have headstands here and you're like, oh, I need to be upside down, then do your thing. You've got 5 or however many breaths that you love. But if you can hold the legs, then you'll pull your own legs a little bit. So the elbows will bend, even if it's just a little bit. This is keeping your arms and legs active. If you're up and doing something really fun and crazy, then play or come on down when you're ready. Take an inhale, start to lift your chest. Hands will come under the shoulders. Take an exhale, you'll bend the right knee and shift over to the right. You'll start to turn the left toes up towards the ceiling. If you need to lift the right heel, that is no problem. So hands can come on the mat. This will help you. If you want to challenge your balance, you could lift your hands. You could really reach the arms or do really any mudra that you love if you're doing fun arm things. But if you're working with the hip and the heel, the ankle, then maybe you start to try to press the heel all the way down. So if you're here, hands could also press at the heart, the toes facing upwards. I know there's a lot going on. Just one more breath again. Arms can go wide if they want. You could take a bind if you're doing something crazy. Exhale, hands down to the midline. Inhale, lift, pressing up onto the hands, lift halfway. And now exhale, we're shifting over to the left foot. So you can lift the heel at first and press the right toes upwards. Hands can come forward. The weight of the fingertips will help us from being too wobbly, or you can start to play. The more you sweep the arms in one direction and the other, the more this is going to intensify, right? It'll get a little more challenging. If you're playing with the open hip and heel situation, then lift up, see if you can plant your heel down. You might have to press through your right foot a little bit more, and it'll take you a little lower. If you want to bind, you can bind. That's your choice. And if you're like, man, I am falling over, then you can come out of this whenever you love. Bring your hands down. Lift your hips up. You're in this forward fold. So turn your toes forward. Lift halfway for the spine. Take an exhale, nice big fold. Last big fold here. Inhale, lift your chest. Take an exhale. Let's crawl around to the opposite side. Let's crawl around to this left foot forward. So now you're facing what was the back of your mat. Bring your hands down. Send your foot back. You're in high plank. This is the last one. Take an exhale. Bring your knees down to the midline. Breathe out and come back to sitting back on your shins. You can let your hands rest wherever feels natural. Maybe one to the heart, one to the belly. If your eyes can close here, then just imagine your space on your mat. Everything outside of the mat just gets a little fuzzy, has some filter on it. Maybe we're just floating out onto the raft, out into wherever. And you can move a little. So start this slight rocking, hand on heart or hand on heart and belly, hands wherever you love. And we're swaying with the waves. We're just on our raft. Moving forward and back. What are we planting in this moment? Is the body like, whew, thank you for moving me around. I needed that. Can a little seed of love come into your heart for yourself that you held yourself accountable for coming to yoga. It's not easy at your own house. There's a million distractions. We're still just rocking, feeling thankful. Take an exhale. You can find some stillness. Bring 2 thumbs right up to the third eye, that vision center. And as you exhale, bow forward, that releasing of the breath, that in your small little child's pose, you're feeling most relaxed, most like a tiny seed. And let's take an inhale, start to lift back up. Really slowly we'll shift onto our backs, but let's stay fluid. So if you can keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed just to start to roll off of one hip, roll down onto your back. You can bring your knees with you, hug your knees into the chest. And take an exhale, just open your right arm out to the right. Drop your knees off over to the left. Take a nice gentle twist. This left hand will just rest on top of the top knee. Just a little added weight, letting gravity get a little bit of help guiding it along. Inhale and exhale. If you want to turn your head opposite your knees, that will intensify this a little bit. Inhale, let's lift our knees back through center. You can rock around just a little bit, roll around, and then open your left arm out to the left. Drop your knees off over to the right. If you need to shimmy the hips underneath you a little bit more, shimmy how you need and just rest that top right hand. The relaxation is coming from the shoulder, twisting the spine deeply but nicely, slowly. Turn your head over opposite the knees if you want more, only if it's adding value in this shape in some way. Hug your knees back into your chest. Rock a little from side to side. This is where that inner teacher really loves to awaken. So let your body do what it wants to do. Happy baby seems to feel really good at the end. So if you want to roll around on your spine, reaching for the outer edges of your feet, that could be a really nice finishing shape. If you want something a little different, you want to just jiggle around arms and legs in the air. My teacher calls this dead bug asana, jiggle asana. So just do whatever. You can find inversions if you love inversions, or you can find back bends if you love back bends. You've got a couple of moments to really decide how your body wants to feel that fluid energy now. We're less tight, we're a little bit more warmed up. So any creaks, any pops that want to get out of the joints, this is good. This is just dryness coming out. So again, if you want back bending, bridge cycles, or anything like that, give yourself a moment. Play with whatever shape that you love. And when you're feeling pretty complete, start to meet me here with legs straight in the air, just pointing and flexing your toes. Palms are resting face upward. We're ready to receive. You can release the feet, bend the knees a little bit. You'll feel that kind of bone stacking where you're not doing a whole lot of work. We're shifting all this fresh filtered blood back down to these organs, down to the kidneys and the liver, all really the filter organs that are down around here. Love what we just did. So we're letting the blood just kind of move out of our legs. We don't often thank our blood or enjoy that we have blood moving all around, right? It's a weird thing, but just for a moment, we'll feel that sensation that we're boosting our own immune system. Exhale, hug your knees in. Next exhale, let your legs go long. Arms will reach out, close your eyes. Just a moment or so in Shavasana. Your highest self may have some messages for you, that inner knowing, the things that you can't think about when you're moving really quickly. Those things come in during the listening. So 5 breaths, just listening. All right, take an inhale, start to move around a little. You can reach the arms up overhead. You can reach the legs really long. Roll over to your favorite side and slowly start to press yourself up back into a seat. Take your time to get here. If you have time and you want to meditate after this is an amazing time just to sit even for a couple of moments. I would like us to Om together. If you have people in your house that are like, what's going on, then you can also Om silently in your head. But if you would like to join me, then we'll bring the hands to the heart. I'll tell you first. We'll bring the hands to the heart, and then we'll open the arms wide, kind of like a big smile as we Om. So let's receive a breath first. We'll just go in and out. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out. Receive your breath for Om. Inhale. Om. Smile. Namaste. I am so happy to be here with you.